Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. And, well, I've been going through a few personal problems here lately, as somebody I thought I could trust turned out to betray that trust. So I'm down a friend. I hate that, that sucks. But we're still going to continue to carry on with our plans for this month. As you've probably already seen, we've posted up videos for Cobra Convergence 6. So I want to give a good shout out to my buddy Hooded Cobra Commander 788 and all my other buddies on the G.I. Joe community. Look forward to hearing from you guys every Tuesday. But we're also going to cover some studio Transformers this month. And the first one up is a donation to the channel. We have Sideswipe. Now, this version of Sideswipe, it appeared in Revenge of the Fallen, the second of the live-action Transformer films, and easily one of the worst of the films, by all accounts, thanks to Michael Bay's decision to include more juvenile humor instead of robot carnage. He clearly doesn't understand what makes a good Transformers film. But at any rate, this is a nicely done figure of Sideswipe, as I'm more familiar with looking at Sideswipe from the Transformers Human Alliance arcade game. And the level that takes place in London, you get to pal around with Sideswipe. So that's kind of a nice, fun thing to do. At any rate, let's get Sideswipe here out of the way for a second. Especially since I see he's been standing incorrectly here. The wheels keep moving. But at any rate, you can see the backdrop here. It features a scene in Shanghai, which of course was the opening scenes of the movie. Helped introduce us to the new Transformers that we were going to be seeing reasonably throughout the film. Unfortunately, it also introduced us to those two idiot ghetto bots that have no place in this universe. But we ain't gonna talk about them. Let's stay with Sideswipe here. And of course, we love the fact that that the figure also includes these blades, which was Sideswipe's preferred weapons during the antics of the movie. But he also does have some guns, and it gives you another way to display him. So we're going to use this moment to do that. As soon as I can get the guns free from the package. There we go. There we go, you see? We'll show off the guns right now. You see we got two guns. Now they look the same, but on the underside they are different. Because as you can see here, the tabs do point out in different directions. So do bear that in mind if you do buy this toy loose. Then, of course, while we're at it, we'll go ahead and show off the other removable accessories. And that would be his blades. Stay. And again, they are not exactly the same. They are a polar opposite of each other. So again, if you do buy this figure loose, and reach down on the floor and get the other one. If you do buy this figure loose, do take the time to examine it to make sure that you haven't been given duplicated parts. Because unfortunately there are idiot dealers out there that don't really care. They just want your money. And I, for one, am here to show you the different ways so that you'll know what you're getting. Now, of course, one thing to point out also is there is a way here on his back to store the guns. So that way, if you want to display him with the blades out, you just lift up the rear portions of the car and you'll see right here on his back there's a indentation hole in there. Well, that's where those posts fit in. So that you would attach them in here. And then just fold everything back down, and then there you have it. He's got his guns stored. Which is a nice way to display him if you don't want to display him with the guns out. But what if you would rather have the guns on him? That's easy to do. Once you have everything removed, they want you to shift these side panels up to the top. And then underneath them, you would attach the long posts so that it stores the blades like so. And then with his blades stowed away like that, trying to keep Sideswipe standing here in a proper position. There we go. Then once you've done that, then you can fit both guns into his hands. Now we just dropped the other one on the floor. Again. Reach around here with my foot. Try not to knock the tripod out from underneath me. There we go. 43 and still quite maneuverable back here. There we go. There's Sideswipe with both guns. That's kind of an interesting look. The way that the blade's attached like that back there almost reminds me of the jet strum figures that we would see in Resident Evil Village. So all in all, I kind of like this look. Now, of course, now we've got him removed of all accessories, let's take a look at Sideswipe's articulation. He has about what we would expect for a studio-released figure. His head can be turned from side to side. And his head can look up and down. His arm can be raised out to the side, about so far. It does rotate at the shoulder all the way, but as you saw, the chest tends to get in the way of that. His arms do bend at the elbow 90 degrees, and he does have a swivel at the bicep. So he has G.I. Joe battle grip. His hands do have wrist articulation, but it's more for transforming him than for any real battle poses. He can be twisted at the hips, so he does have some dance moves going for him. You can spread his legs apart about so far. He does have a bit of a thigh cut, so you can adjust his legs at the thigh. You can raise his legs up at the hip about 90 degrees. You can bend his leg at the knee 90 degrees. And you do have some swivel articulation here at his ankle. So all in all, Sideswipe here does have good range of motion, all except in his arms a bit, but it's not too terribly bad, all things considered. Now comes the fun part where we get to transform Sideswipe. And unfortunately, we won't need the guns for that, but you will want to make sure that you keep the blades handy because those form part of his doors. Now, the first thing the instructions want you to do is make sure the blades have been removed, either from his hands or off the shoulders. Once you've done that, we're going to come back here to this piece behind his head, and they want you to fold it outward, which will help form part of the car. It's a very tiny piece, so it will take a little bit of effort. I should also mention that I want to give another shout out. I want to give a shout out to Anne, a longtime friend of the channel. She's the one that submitted Sideswipe here to me. I don't want to forget to give her credit. Is anybody that donate? If you donate a toy to the channel, I do want to make sure I credit you for the donation. And next, we will turn Sideswipe around the other direction. And we're going to raise up just this portion of his back. Just to raise it up a bit so we get more access to the front end of the car. This piece we're going to fold downwards and fold it under the windscreen to help form the front of the car. Then next, we're going to bring the rest of the thing back down, shift the lower one up, and then there we go. They should connect together to form the entire top of the car. Then once you've done that, the shoulder pieces here can then be folded inwards and attached to the sides of the windscreen, and they will form the upper parts of the door to the car. May take a little effort to get them to stay in because they're very small tabs and it's a very small hole. Keep your legs spread so you stay. Lean against the wall for a moment. It's always nice to have a solid, sturdy wall when reviewing Transformers. Alright, next thing we gotta do is we pull out these side pieces here on his chest a bit, because we're gonna raise up the chest panel. And it is going to connect here to the bottom of the car, to the back of the car, like so. But you're also going to wiggle up these pieces from his chest, so they also help form the rear end of the car. This takes a little finagling to get it right, because the pieces don't always want to shift the way that they should. It also doesn't help nothing else wants to stay in position. There we go. Once we got this piece down flat, then we should be able to... Yeah, as you can also see, the chest pieces do pop off very easily, but they're connected by a simple ball joint, so they should just snap right back in with a little bit of effort. I shut the camera off so I can do that. Okay, after a little bit of effort, we finally got that piece attached. I would show you the methods that we used to get that back in, but we're not allowed to show that on YouTube due to a few environmental infractions and some inappropriate language. But at any rate, it's back in. We got the body all reset. So continuing on our way, barring any further problems, you're going to take his arms and you're going to fold them downwards at the shoulder. Like that. And then we fold his hands inside. Go inside there just like that. And then we swing the arms up so that we bring the wheels in line right back here. And just basically turn the arm at the elbow. Get it into position. Make sure we haven't knocked the doors out of alignment, since they don't stay in the windshield very well. But there we go. We got them in. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come down here to his legs. Right down here at his feet. We fold up this little bit of plastic that's right next to the wheels. That way it'll allow the wheels to be used on the front. So with that out of the way, you can swing the feet out like so. Then you're going to swing back this back piece so that way, as you can see, it forms the headlights and more of the hood of the car. Then while you've got things aligned down here, bring his legs together. So they should connect where those two little plastic things were. Rotate. Yeah, shouldn't connect them just yet. First, get the feet rotated so that they're tucked inside. Then we should connect them. Make sure we got these guys set up to be front wheels. And then we just connect them all into place. Just make sure they snap in. Line up the doors again. Make sure the top of the car is all secured. And then there you go. And then you would take the blades. As you can see, there's a long hole here. That would be on his Sideswipe's leg. Just use that to attach them in. And these will help form the sides of the car. And there we have it. A nice silver colored sporty GM car. And we know it's done up to be a GM car because right here in the back of the box it does have it as a nice Chevy Corvette. And shows that the GM logo is on here, so it makes it an officially licensed product. Which is always a nice thing. And if you got the wheels all lined up properly, then this thing should roll pretty good. Provided you can keep the blades on. There we go. Heard it click in there this time. Yeah, rolls halfway decent. Even though it's not meant to be a toy, it does do a pretty good job of emulating one. But now we get down to my thoughts. What do I think of this version of Sideswipe? Well, I do like the design of the robot. I will give it that. I do like the bladed weaponry that he has. Sort of takes inspiration from Baraka from Mortal Kombat. He's the only one that I can think of with a large single blade. I mean, others would probably attest it to Wolverine, but Wolverine's got 3 blades. Baraka and Sideswipe here only have 1. And 1 large blade, I might add. So that's why I'm thinking the Mortal Kombat character more. The figure itself looks pretty good, and it's got nice ways to hold all the weapons, which, again, that's always a nice feature on any toy. The transformation method, it's not bad. It can get a little complicated, especially if you pop either of the chest panels off, because they are a pain in the butt to get reattached should they come off. And as you can see, since they form most of the back of the car, they're kind of essential to have, so you don't want to lose them. The downsides really come with the car mode, and that's mainly just due to the fact that you can see all of the seams. Bring it up close here and you can see what I mean. That's the problem with using lighter colored cars, is the fact that the seams are very easy to see, and in some cases that can detract from the overall experience. But again, since it's a studio figure, it's somewhat to be expected, and it also depends on how you want to display him. Do you want him as the battle-ready robot or the sleek sports car? Again, it's in your home. You choose how to display it. I don't have a spot to display them, so they just get stored in their box until I can find some room. Oh well, that's the pipe dream. At any rate, that's my review of the studio version of Sideswipe. I hope you all enjoyed it. And remember, if you do like the type of content that we feature here heavily on this channel, please do remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We do appreciate the feedback here. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.